Welcome to video 4. This is very similar to video 3, where we're trying to get, this is still slope intercept. We're trying to get it into y equals mx plus b, but they've given it to us in what we call standard form, where like x and y are on the same side, and you have equals a number. Now, we're going to use this a lot later, but knowing how to go from here to here is going to help us with stuff like systems and substitution. So I said, okay, let's take this, because this is just an equation, and solve for y. Well, how do we get this y by itself? Where do you want to start? And they said, well, let's move this to the other side by subtracting. So we subtract ax from both sides. Because these do not combine, we could technically do c minus ax, but that's not how you write it here. You usually put the x first. So by equals negative ax plus c, because that's negative ax and that's a positive c. By by itself, just divide everything by b. And now we have this. Y equals negative a over bx plus c over b, which looks very, very similar to y equals mx plus b. That's because it is. And so when we see these, this is two steps. Move this over, divide everything by what's in front of there, and you have your y equals mx plus b. Or, crap, that's not what I wanted. Or, press the wrong button. Just know that your shortcuts are, when you have a, b, and c, your slope will always be negative a divided by b. So if a is already negative, negative a, okay? If b is negative and you have negative over negative, make sure you know that's a positive. And your b value is c over b. And I know having two b's is confusing, but this lowercase b is your intercept. This b is your number in front of your y value. So let's just kind of get into it. Zoom. Okay. Okay. I said let's start with number 2, because here's doing it, I guess, quote unquote, the long way. Move this over. Those don't combine. Divide everything by 3. That doesn't reduce, but that does. And we put that in the calculator. And boom, we have y equals mx plus b in 2 steps, very similar to what we did in the point slope stuff. You could show me work this way. You could show me work this way, where it's a, b, and c. Well, my slope is this. My intercept is this. So y equals mx plus b. Maybe this reduces. Maybe it doesn't. Just put it in your calculator and find out. I'm okay with either one, but you have to show me some work. If you have something like this, the answer is this. So honestly, that is not what I wanted to do. Honestly, you just leave it blank. Like on your homework, just leave it blank. Don't even worry about it. But subtract x from both sides, divide everything by 6. That just becomes 1/6, because that's an invisible 1 right there. If you did it the shortcut way, you would have gotten this as your b value, and when you put it in the calculator, there it is right there in the calculator, and get that. This wasn't too crazy complicated. I had them do a couple of these on their own. Just another example. Subtract to move over, subtract, and just make sure you bring down this negative if there's a minus sign in front of that y. If it's like -3, obviously we're going to divide by -3, but if it's just a y by itself, be careful and don't do that. Again, negative over negative becomes positive, so just be on the lookout for that. Yeah, these videos were short and sweet because these lessons were short and sweet. They were like, this is pretty easy, give me the worksheet, so hopefully this makes sense.